So one of the things I hear a lot about is when someone is wanting to do an online certification, they wonder kind of how it's going to operate and what they're going to get. So I figured I would take you through a little bit of a tour through the back end of the program. You'll see that it's pretty much an entirely online program. You'll come in and you'll get the instructions on how to go about actually doing the certification, what you should do first, what you should do second, um, and then you can actually get into the certification itself. So first of all, we always recommend that you look at the anatomy and kinesiology, and there's a series of PowerPoint presentations here where you can see how to go about actually learning about what you're using in major muscle groups and everything else. And then you also have a downloadable PDF where you can print this off and make it part of your manual and take it with you. We always recommend that you get in and learn some of the basics about anatomy and then come back and do this again. You will have an anatomy exam at the end of the certification, and this is where you're going to find the majority of that information. After you go over the basic anatomy and kinesiology, one of the big things we want you to look at is special populations and modifications. And we're going to just talk about some of the very basic things that you would need to know in working with clients with certain health issues. So you would go here and you would get some of the very basic things that you need to be looking for in overall exercises. As you go through, you'll also notice that as you get into each individual exercise, there will be specific information about that exercise and what to do. We have a special module here about exercise and pregnancy, and it just talks about a lot of the things that you really need to know in dealing with a pregnant client, how you go about making modifications, what you need to keep an eye out for, and why pregnant women should often continue working out unless their doctor tells them otherwise. We're going to get into the barre and Pilates principles. And as barre comes from Pilates, it's really important that you get into this and you get a little bit of a feel for what you're going to know and how you're going to operate a class. It will tell you a lot about Pilates and how you're going to design your class and keep an eye on proper form and everything else to make sure that you're providing a safe and healthy class for a client. If you already have a Pilates certification, a lot of this is going to just basically be review, but it is something that I would go ahead and touch on anyway. Ballet principles. With, again, this being part of a barre class, it's really important that you understand the ballet aspect. Our method does incorporate a lot more dance than some barre methods, and it's important that you understand first position, second position, fifth position, and the actual terminology that you would use in a dance class. We want our classes to have a nice dance feel, and it's really important that you get some of the basics there, and that when you're talking about a position, you're describing first position, and you're describing it properly. Musicality is going to be one of the next big things you're going to learn, and we're going to talk to you about how you design a class, how you use musicality to actually create the tempo and the movement of your class, where you go about getting your music, and then we have a number of practice songs that you can be using here to download, and you can practice talking on the beat and using the music to set the course for the class. Your barre certification manual. This is kind of going to be your little guidebook for your certification. It's, as you can see, it's a large file. It's 23.6 megabytes. It's almost 200 pages, and that's where you're going to actually download the manual. You can print it if you would like, and you can mark it up however you feel is best for you to learn. We find that it's helpful a lot of times to go through, read the manual through, get a good feel for the manual, and then watch the video, read the exercise description, do the exercise, stand up and do the exercise, and then take notes for yourself as how you're going to use that exercise, how you're going to teach that exercise, how you're going to modify it, and how you're going to amplify that particular exercise in a class. Next thing is going to be your stretches, and you're going to just get in here, and this is where you're going to start learning the exercises themselves. And so we will walk you through each individual exercise via video. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about modifications. We'll talk about things to look for, where to use them in class, and you'll find this again in your manual in a lot of cases. But as we get into this part, you're going to have your stretches, your arm work, your bar work or leg work, your abdominal work, floor work, and we'll touch on that one here real quick because that's going to be like a lot of your pretzel, your knee dancing, your glute kickbacks, clam series, that kind of stuff that you're going to use as floor work normally toward the end of class. You're also going to learn warm-up or cardio series, and this is where you're going to actually learn how to take exercises and put them together and create that cardio aspect or that dance aspect of class. These are going to be the exercises that are literally the glue of your class, and they're going to be really important in terms of designing that really solid, fun, dance-inspired class that goes along with your traditional bar. When you get out of the exercises, you're going to get down to the bottom here where you're going to have class formats for gold and advanced class formats for platinum. So with gold, you get 2 classes, and it'll actually have very specific information as to what you do with those classes and how you put them together. You're going to then have another series, and those are going to be for your platinum, and those are going to be 3 extra full classes where it tells you exactly how to put together a class, and it'll flow very well. It'll tell you exactly how many repetitions and what you need to do next for each exercise to flow together. These classes are all designed to be between 55 to 60 minutes. Then finally, you're going to have just a few extra little things. You're going to have your test out procedures, and that's where we're going to talk about what you need to do to test out. And then you will have an extra bonus module on opening your own studio, and then some extra bonus videos. And the bonus videos will change at various times. That's often where I'm going and just adding some things about how to be a better instructor or how to make more as an instructor. But those bonuses are going to be things where they're unanticipated, but we want to make sure that we're giving you the tools to get the best experience possible. If you have any questions, we want to hear from you, but this is a really good basic overview of what you would need to know and what you would need to go through to do your certification. Hope to hear from you soon. Thanks. Have a great day.